Hello, this is Dan Cox. Welcome back to my channel. And it's a weird one, but I was having a nice little juicy lunch the other day, and my dear beloved was eating a vegetable, and he was enjoying it so much, he said to me, I reckon this is my spirit vegetable. Right? And I was really laughing, and he says, what's your spirit vegetable? And I said, oh. And it really made me think about what do I eat that I feel so totally satisfied? What kind of vegetable? Obviously, if you had to live off one vegetable or fruit for the rest of your life, it was like, okay, you can grow one vegetable. Hey, that wouldn't be so far-fetched at the state of the world at the moment. It's like, what would be my one choice? And you know what mine is? Mine is spuds. So potatoes. I am from England. Potatoes are a very staple part of the diet growing up. And I don't know, as old Samwise Gamgee says, what was it? Roast them, mash them, put them in stew, whatever it is. So it got me to thinking about spirit food and what food do you eat on a regular basis that you really feel is feeding your spirit in a really positive way. It uplifts, it satisfies on the the mental, the emotional, the physical, the spiritual. What is the spirit fruit and vegetable that you eat? Because it's really bonkers in this day and age that I've kind of swung between vegetarianism and veganism for decades, and I had some kind of allergy in my eyes a few years ago, and tried quite a few things, and the thing that really worked was doing the blood group diet and cutting out certain foods that were evidently not good for my blood group. Something I'd always poo-pooed and thought was a bit of hogwash. And there you go, I learnt my lesson. I've always been interested in raw food, never really done it because I don't like eating kind of that, I've tried it, it's like just not for me, it doesn't resonate. But then if you know about food in the body, you think, are we being driven by our mitochondria, these things that live in our cells that kind of get us to do naughty things to please them? It's like parasites, parasites are thinking and they get you to eat the food that they want, not you need. It's kind of overriding the parasite. So it goes. Anyway, so what food would you eat that you could, I said maybe had two. We could have a fruit and a vegetable. I'd have cherries, and then I would have potatoes. What a lovely diet. I looked into the diets and of the gods. Anything that's written about holy people, the sadhus in the swamis and all that kind of stuff, what they kind of eat. Obviously they eat very little, but like the Buddha used to eat a lot of sweet rice, Rama. I've got a whole book downstairs on the food that Rama liked to eat and all that kind of stuff. So I'm really interested because, all these sweet rices. I love barfi and kulfi and, jalebi and anything like with the Indian kind of swing to it. I just love. And in Vedic astrology, part of your astrological reading, if you're having a birth chart done, is to look at your body type and therefore the foods that would exacerbate certain situations and ways of feeling and thinking, and those that really help. So, in Vedic astrology, it's Pitta, fire, Kapha, which is water, and Vata, which is air. We're all made up of all three of these elements. And basically, your chart shows you which one is dominant and which one needs to be just kind of calmed down. So for instance, if you are high Pitta energy in Vedic astrology, that's high fire. So you might have skin rashes, eruptions, you might have cold sores, you might have all kinds of stuff. And if you're eating the Pitta food, the fire is going to just really bring that up and bring it out. Maybe it's joints and stuff that erupt, or it's stuff in there, could be all kinds of stuff. So it's useful to eat foods according to your chart that just calm that fire down. I mean, I've got a friend, she's a double Aries, Sun, Moon, Aries, and she likes salads. She likes to eat salad, which is really good for her kind of type, because having that double fire, you need something to cool the fire, cool what's going on in the body. So it's a very interesting study. But going back to just you as a person, yourself, what do you like? I'm trying to work it out, whether it was, I'm born in April, so I was gestating while the winter was on and the ground was hard and potatoes were being eaten probably by people. I was gestating over Christmas, probably why I like chocolate and trifle and all those Christmas foods. And then I thought, okay, I've also got a lot of Pisces in my chart. So potatoes are very grounding. They are of the earth. They grow in the earth. So by eating potatoes, that utopian thing of mine, that Piscean escapism and dreaminess and creativeness and, the big wish for the world just to be a beautiful place, and then getting constantly kind of surprised by the bonkersness that goes on. Eating potatoes maybe just gives me some anchoring into earth and brings me back down to earth. And it would be interesting to speak to people who had heavy Saturn or heavy earth in their chart, and if they like watery foods, to kind of feed their earth, or to give them a flow, give them a, instead of that kind of very fixed kind of vibe they can have, just give them a bit of flow and obviously the air, give it a little bit of mental acuity for all of us. So I'm very interested in this. So have a think about what your spirit vegetable is. If you could have one vegetable and fruit for the rest of your life, what would it be? And what really satisfies you? I mean, I see stuff, because I'm fascinated in nutrition, I see stuff on some of the Telegram channels I'm on, and, about drinking salt water and the parasite cleanses people do, and some people think garlic is totally toxic, and some people think it's incredibly healing. And it always comes back to that thing of us, isn't it? What suits us, what we feel good eating, and what we don't get reactions to. I've got like quite a sensitivity to histamine, so I have to be careful about not eating high lysine foods and eating arginine and all that kind of stuff. But I know it, and I found it out because my body goes, not that, okay. It's like, not that. Give us a spud. I went to the chip shop a few weeks ago, and I haven't had chips from a chip shop for years. I do eat spuds, but I do them my way, and like I roast them and whatever, the healthiest way you can do. But I went to the chip shop and I had these hugely salty, vinegary portion of chips, and it was just like divine. It was like eating divine nectar from the gods and goddesses, and my whole body felt so satisfied. It just felt full of it was just like, that's just what I wanted. That is just, and I wasn't wanting to snack or nibble on anything else. It was just like a bag of chips. But again, it's associated with childhood and staying up till 3 a.m. and coming out of nightclubs and the chip shops in Coventry, where I lived and grew up, with all these fantastic rock clubs at the time. There was queues for chips and hot chips on a cold winter night after dancing yourself into a great healing frenzy all night long. So food has that association, and I think if it's association with something really positive, I have a friend in there, they've got a very positive connection with spinach for something that happened in their youth when they were growing up, and an act of kindness regarding spinach has now made spinach a very uplifting spiritual food for them, which is really interesting. And therefore, when they eat spinach, they're going to be connecting on a deep and conscious level to all that kindness and greatness and compassion and, just that great unity of feeling. So this video is just to get you to think about your spirit vegetable and fruits and what really is making you happy eating and what is really making you just like feel so connected to food in such a great way, and that which is uplifting and satisfying your spirit and your emotions and everything else. Obviously, some people might say, oh, chocolate's my spirit vegetable, or, whiskey's my spirit vegetable, or ever, barley. So the cocoa bean is my spirit vegetable, or, like I say, barley, the whiskey, or hops. It's like, but so be it, but just have a think about it. What could you live off every single day for a long time and really be happy with anyway? Hope you enjoyed that. I'm going to, just before I leave, I just feel like doing this because it's like, why not? Let's have an angel card to match our spirit vegetable. It's going to be something like, hey, eat what you want, how you want. What's that great phrase? Everything in moderation. Yeah. Okay. Oh, this one came up. Oh, these two came up. Oh, well, that's nice. Yes, I like that. Very good. Openness. Openness to your spirit vegetable. And this one, finding peace when you eat what you really enjoy. Yes, I like that. It's not really coming into focus, but hey. So thank you for joining me. That's the one for today, and I will be back soon with some astrology, some tarot. It's a big month this month. Sometimes I don't talk about it too much because just to ride the waves the way you're riding them does the trick, and then to look back on what you've ridden. You didn't even know there was a shark underneath. You didn't even know you were surfing, and then you got back to shore and everything's great, and you didn't know that. So, anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you soon. Cheers. Bye.